Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Okay, so I've got a lot going on right now. I've got my drama video uploading on my phone inside. I have my TV video rendering. Today was Sister Wives. Well, last night Sister Wives was on, but I took my notes. So I'm rendering that video, and then I'm also rendering my movie video. I have all the thumbnails made for that already. And it is currently, when I came out here, I looked at the clock in the microwave, and it said it was 5:12. So I have to start getting ready here about 6:30 because we are going, I'm excited about this. This will be fun. We're going to a movie tonight with, I think, 2, maybe 3 other couples. And we are going to a movie theater I've never been to before. And we are going to see The Grinch, which is, I think it's the Jim Carrey version, which is like not one of my favorite Christmas movies, but it'll be fun anyway. So we're going to this place. I think that it's like a nationwide franchise. It's called Flick's Brew House. I've never been to it before, but you can like order all this food there. They have a Beyond Burger. You can order like churro donut holes. You can order nachos. You can order fries. They have milkshakes there. You can get popcorn. I don't know. I'm kind of like really not in the mood for food. I'm kind of in the mood just to get like a big bowl of popcorn. It comes in like a bowl, but anyway. So you can it's like a full service like restaurant, and then they deliver it to you. I don't know what the seats are like. Everybody that I know this place has been around for years. Everybody that I know has been to this place. And Alex and I always talk about doing a date there, and we never go. So he asked me a couple weeks ago, he was like, one of his friends, it's her boyfriend's favorite movie is this version of The Grinch. And so he was like, do you want to go? I said, absolutely, that'll be so much fun. So we're going, and then she and her boyfriend are going, and then there's another couple going, and then another couple might go. So I'm really excited about it. But it starts tonight. I think it's at 7:30. So Alex said we have to leave here about 5 after 7, which means I've got to start getting ready at 6:30. I trimmed my beard and shaved earlier, so all I have to do is take a shower, and I'm just going to put on like a hoodie and jeans and stuff like that. So, but that'll be fun. But I'm trying to get all this stuff done before I leave, so that when I leave, the vlog can just be rendering. So I'm trying to get up all the videos. And videos recently, I don't know why, maybe it's more people are uploading videos in the month of December or something, but videos have been taking me a really long time to upload lately. I saw that Mare said something about that too, on her like community tab. And I've seen other people say that, other people I've talked to have said like their videos are taking forever to upload. So my drama video is like taking twice as long. So I might have to stop this halfway through. Well, when I get to the 30-minute mark, I'll go inside and look anyway. But I don't even know if the drama video will be uploaded by then. So I don't know. Some of the videos might have to just be posted when I get back. When I get back from the movie. But that won't be till like 10 o'clock. So, oh well, we'll do what we can do. So, I wanted to film more videos than that, but Alex came home early because he was like, I want to rest a little bit tonight before we go to the movie. Because, of course, the movie that takes a lot out of you, a movie. And he had Chipotle for lunch, and I said, are you so excited to eat tonight at this restaurant? And he goes, I'm really full. He started laughing. I said, babe, we have been wanting to, because he's never been to this place either. I said, babe, we've been wanting to come to this place. He goes, I know, but I ate too much at lunch. He was like, they were all getting Chipotle, and it was so good. And I was like, okay. So I don't know, it might just be me. But so I looked at I'm like somebody that looks at menus before I go places. As a vegetarian, it kind of helps me, because this is what I find as a vegetarian. Well, nowadays, there's really a lot of different options. I actually, on this menu, it says vegan and vegetarian options. But back in the day when I would go to restaurants, there weren't that many options. And so, like, the best in Indianapolis, if I would go to other places like Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, like, there were, like, half the menu was vegan. But in Indianapolis, like, the best you could do was maybe, like, a dinner salad, you know, like, and have the bacon taken off. It's not like that anymore. Like, every restaurant here in town has vegan and vegetarian options. More vegan, obviously, than vegetarian options, and gluten-free options and all that kind of stuff. But I like to still look at a menu, because what happens now is that then I can like kind of pick in my head, like, okay, I've got these 6 things I can have. What am I really craving before I go? But now I'm kind of just like, well, maybe like they have like bowls of like candy and stuff that you can get like a bowl of candy and then like a big bowl of popcorn. I think I might just do that. Last night I was thinking like I'm going to get a Beyond Burger and fries and I'm going to get a milkshake. But now I'm not kind of like really feeling all that. I don't know. I was thinking like maybe nachos. And like, oh, they have queso. They have like queso dip and chips. So I might get queso dip. They also have pretzels with cheese on it. That's what Tanya would get probably. But the popcorn, I love movie popcorn. So I might get movie popcorn with like extra butter on it. This place might be a little too fancy for me. Because I kind of like to put my own butter on it. Like, I talked about this last time we went to a movie that like in the middle of the movie, I like to go out and like re-butter my popcorn and refill my soft drink and stuff like that. So anyway, first cup of coffee for the day. Cheers. This is the Illy coffee in my sober cup. And then this is, I have one Splenda. Oh, actually, it's raw sugar. I have one raw sugar in there. It's that brand, raw sugar. Okay. So, I feel like y'all are playing a trick on me. No, for real though, I do. Because I do have my gloves out here. It's actually, I looked at the weather right before I came out here because I knew I didn't have my phone with me. Out here because I was like, I'm going to bring these out here as well. It's 23 degrees, so it's a lot warmer. I think it's crazy to say that 23 degrees is warm, but it's a lot warmer than it was, what do you call it, yesterday. Tonight, I was going to, so last night I wanted to watch that Knives Out movie. Alex was like, yeah, I'll watch it, but he's like not super excited about it, so I'm going to watch it before him because I want to review it. But I was like, I wanted to review The Materialist today. So I was like, okay, I want to finish these shows so I don't have to watch another movie tonight. If I don't have a movie, I like to watch a movie so then I can review it for the next day for my movie channel. So then I was like, okay, tonight, maybe I'll watch Knives Out. But then I was like, we're going to Grinch. Like, this is too perfect. Like, I don't even remember the last time I saw this movie. So I was like, I'll just review this movie, The Grinch, tomorrow for my movie channel. So tomorrow night, I'll probably watch The Materialist. Or watch The Materialist. No, not that movie. I'm not watching it again. So many people were like, Peter, it's Dakota Johnson. I was like, I don't care. She was bad in the movie. The movie was bad. She was bad in the movie. Even Pedro Pascal was bad in the movie, and I love him. But anyway, so then tomorrow, I was like, tomorrow night, when I get back from my meeting with Tanya, Tanya and I are going to a meeting tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, when I get back from my meeting with Tanya, I'll watch the Knives Out movie. I'm so excited to see that movie. But then I was like, well, that's going into my sobriety birthday, so I might want to watch, like, a sober movie tomorrow night. We'll just see. But anyway, this is where I think you guys are messing with me. Okay, so I brought this hat out yesterday, and I said, somebody had said, a couple people had said, why don't you put this underneath your trucker hat? Okay, so this is what I did yesterday. I put this on, and then I put my trucker hat over it, okay? And some people said it looked like Fargo. It totally does look like Fargo. When I saw that comment, I laughed. But then, it's one person that left the comment, and I think you're messing with me. I do, though, truly, and don't call me Truly Brown. I think you're trying to mess with me just to get me to do stupid stuff on video. Okay, like, remember Stupid Human Tricks on David Letterman? So anyway, they said, you need to put the trucker hat on first, and then the hat over it. Like that. That looks stupid. They both look stupid. But if I'm going to do that, then I might as well just wear the other hat, shouldn't I? Like, it doesn't really... I don't know. I wish I looked better in these hats. You guys are so nice. So many of you are like, Peter, you look so handsome in that hat. Can we just be for real for a second? No, I don't. I wish I did. I don't. I don't really care when I'm walking because it's so cold outside. But no, I don't look good. Okay, I'm going to put... Let's go. Since it's not as cold today, I think I'm going to need both of these gloves. But how are you guys doing today? So did I tell you I do this thing every night now to kind of settle my mind before I go to, like when I'm laying in bed, to kind of settle my mind from like spiraling and stuff? I think I'm going to leave these on for a second and then put the other ones on. So I think about my favorite moment of the day. Well, not really my favorite moment of the day, but I think about, I feel like there's like hair sticking out or something. Oh, it's just a wrinkle. It's just my wrinkly skin. I think about like the moment that I was like the most content during the day, like the most peaceful, happiest moment of the day. Do you know what's so crazy? I mean, it's not crazy really, but it's like almost every single day. Like if I, like in my head, if I'm picking out 5 moments, like 4 of them always involve the dogs. Like last night, I was like watching Down Cemetery Road, and Otis and Walter, the cold really wear them out. Like, I could only take them out for like 2 minutes at a time last night. They were like so ready to come in. And so I bring them in, and every time after I brought them in, like, I give them a little treat when I bring them inside. They were so tired. Like, they just like, Otis just like fell over in the blanket in the living room and just like went right to sleep. Walter was like wanting me to pull him up, then Otis would come over. And then like, you know, 40 minutes later, I take them out again. But they like usually they run around and stuff. Last night, I think the cold is just taking it out of them because they are so tired. The little guys are so tired. But every one of my moments, like as I'm laying there in bed, I'm always thinking about like what are like, I always think, okay, what usually happens is I'll lay there in bed. I've actually the last couple nights, and I haven't been drinking like a lot of caffeine. It's not caffeine. I don't know what it is. But I have found myself, like, in my head kind of spiraling before I go to bed. Kind of like, not spiraling necessarily about, like, bad things, but, like, I find myself, like today, I knew we were going to the movie. So, like, last night in bed, I was like, okay, I need to get up at such and such time so I can get these videos filmed, blah, 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 whatever. And then finally, I just was like, stop. I was like, you'll film what you film. I'm really kind of there, which is good. Like, for so long, I think I was going to say this in a vlog the other day. You know, I would get on here, it almost became a joke when I would say things like, well, I wasn't going to film today, things like that. I'm to the point now where, like, I love to film videos. Y'all know that. And if every day, you know, if I, like, got up early enough and I had enough time, and it's up to me, really, right? I would film videos on all of my channels. But I'm also at a point where, like Alex texted me. I got done with my Sister Wives video, and I, like, checked my phone, and that was the last video that I filmed. And he was like, was that the last video that I filmed? Whatever last video I filmed, I checked my phone, and he texted me and said he's on his way home. So I wanted to do, like, a haul video for my Peter Does Stuff video, because I ordered a bunch of stuff, and it came, and it's all kind of fun stuff. I was like, no, that video can just wait till tomorrow. I'm really good at that now. Like, that's something, like, I know that doesn't sound like, oh, look at all those birds flying up. I know that doesn't sound like a major achievement, but, like, even a year ago, probably, definitely 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, like, I've got to do this, this, and this, and this, or I would have beat myself up like you didn't get enough done. I'm, like, so much better with that today. Like, I'm like, you got to, is there, like, something, hold on a second. Is it truly just the wrinkle in my... What is going on? Oh, it is. Look, honey. Honey, the land. People are like, Peter, get Botox. I got the Botox years ago. I did it, I think, twice. I was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. It's whatever. They're wrinkles. We all get them. But yeah, like, I'm better with that now. I'm just kind of like, okay, well, you're done filming for the day. Like, I don't beat myself up about it anymore. I think even just a couple months ago, I was like, I don't feel like I was very productive. I don't feel like that anymore. But anyway, so like last night, like in my head, I was like, okay, you got to do this. And then Tuesday night, you're going with Tanya to this meeting. So you got to get your, I was like, just let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. Like, you know, that's where like being an addict and alcoholic and kicking in and like our need to control things. Control is such an issue for addicts and alcoholics because we can't control we really, like, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. We don't really have great control over things, right? And so we find ourselves trying to control other aspects of our life. It's one of the things that we work on heavily in recovery. And you find years later, you're still trying to control aspects of things. And I think, like, probably one of the things I've worked the hardest on in my life is just realizing what things I don't have control over. Like, it's really, really hard, right? Like, what other people say, what other people do. Like, you know, when I first got sober, I heard the saying, probably my first month sober, you know, that I can't control what other people say or what other people do. I can only control my actions, right? Like, that's something I heard in early sobriety. But, like, all these years later, 31 years later, I'm still practicing that, you know, because you want to try to, like, if somebody doesn't like you or somebody says this, it's like innately, I think, in me at least, it's like, well, why don't they? Like, I want people to like me. I wish they did. Like, they don't understand this or they misunderstood that. You know, it's like, and I don't feel as much like that today as I really, and I think it goes all the way back to my bullying when I was growing up, that if I could convince the bullies that I was a good person and that there was a reason to like me, then maybe they would stop bullying me. Well, I've learned a long time ago, oh, my neighbor's coming out, I think, to get her mail. I learned a long time ago that those people are, you know, the kids that were bullying me when I was growing up, I mean, I never would have understood this as a kid. It's not a concept I think any kid can understand. And I mean, I remember people kind of saying these kind of things to me, like my parents and stuff, like, well, teachers and whatever, maybe through the years. But like, I haven't even seen this neighbor of mine, the gardener. I haven't even seen her. Is she coming out here? There you are.
Here
I
I am.
miss you.
I know. Don't get to see it.
I know. You know what's on Wednesday night?
Yeah.
The season finale of Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh no. I've been looking online. I just stopped the camera because she started saying something right away. I know. Did we get our mail yet?
We didn't get any.
I don't think we did either. It comes late now.
I don't think he delivers on Monday anymore.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't work on Mondays.
Is that for sure?
Yeah, it's a different person.
Oh.
And they come later, like 6 or 7. So I was asking her about Survivor, and then she like swung right into like, did you hear this about? So I stopped it real quick. My neighbors think it's so funny when I'm like, you can't say names. They just start laughing. They think it's so funny. I'm just trying to be protective. I mean, I don't know that there's not somebody out there that's like, Judy Smith, Indianapolis. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be protective of people. But anyway. Yeah, I don't see my neighbors much out here because it's so cold anymore. The sky's kind of pink. It's kind of pretty. You know, it's weird. I was just thinking about this because last year I remember her and I talking about... So he and I both watch Amazing Race. I finished Amazing Race already. She and I watched Survivor. I remember talking to her last year. I feel like the mail's coming right now. Yeah, it is the mail. She just came out here to get the mail, and the mail's coming. Here comes the mail! She walked inside, and then she walked back. She plugged in her Christmas lights. That's what she did. Look, did you see that? He just drove right past. I didn't get any. No packages. I sure didn't get no Christmas cards from you. Hey, you have your Christmas village up over there?
What?
Do you have your Christmas village?
Yes, finally got it up.
Okay. I hope you stay warm. But last year, I remember her and I talking about the finale, so it must not have been that, I mean, y'all, it is snow central out here. Can I just show you for a second? I mean, it's pretty. I like the snow. Like the snow, last night it was cold, you guys. Like, to sit out here, like when I came in, I did not realize how cold it was. I did not realize how cold it was when I went in, until I went inside when I was done with my vlog. And then I came out here because I had left some stuff out here. So like I went inside, I took my like gloves and hat, and when I came back out here to get my stuff, like after I started uploading my vlog, I was like, it is cold out here. Alex and Tanya both were like, how did you stay out there for so long? I talked to Tanya like right afterwards. She called me. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, just got done vlogging outside for an hour. She goes, you sat outside for an hour? And she goes, you're going to get sick. I go, Tanya, you can't get sick from being out in the cold. She goes, but it can make it worse. She just started laughing. But anyway, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it really is, but it's going to melt in a couple days. Look at the sky. Do you see it's kind of like getting pink over there? I think the sky is pretty. Oh, this is what I was going to say about the bullies when I was growing up and stuff like that. Like, you know, like today what I know is, okay, like, when I was growing up, I was just an easy target. Like, if I had never gone to that school, does that mean the bullies wouldn't be bullies? No, they would have been bullies and they would have picked a different target, right? Okay, so then when you look at bullying behavior, of which I've spoken a lot about in my life, not just on videos, and done a lot of, like, looking into and things like that. But anyway, when you look at bullying behavior, it's really not about the target of who's, like, the recipient is the person that feels it, like, it hurts, right? Like, and it affects you down the road. But the bully is not thinking about that in the moment. That bully is somebody that is not getting attention or validation somewhere else, whether that be at home, I think the other thing we don't really talk about is adults that bully. It happens in workplaces, it happens in families, it happens online, it happens with friend groups, it happens everywhere. Well, when you look at that bullying behavior, the target is not who makes the bully. The bully is that way because of something missing from them. That he just drove by, none of them got any mail. That was interesting. Because, I mean, he just drove right by like 3 mailboxes. Either because they're missing something in their life, they're unfulfilled, they're unhappy, they're angry people, they're miserable, whatever, right? I had to get to a point in my... So it's really not about me. It's really not about you if you're being bullied or whatever. Like, if you're bullied in a friend group or a work environment, like if you, like a work environment's a good example of that. Like if you think about a sibling of yours, right? Like I don't have siblings, but I see this happen in families of mine. Like if you're picked on by a sibling, like if you were not in that family, like that sibling would still be picking on somebody, right? Like, so when you look at it that way, that bullying behavior is not defined by the target. It's about the person. It's about the person doing it. And whatever is unfulfilled in them. Or maybe they got attention for being mean or whatever. But it really doesn't say anything about the person whatsoever. That was something that is something I'm still kind of learning today. Like it's hard to really, because when you're the recipient of it, it hurts like shit, right? Like it hurts. And you feel like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not likable? What did I do? And I grew up thinking that way, right? So I grew up always thinking like, well, if there was something about me that I could fix, then if there was something about me that I could fix, then then I could turn around and like I would fix it, you know? And but that's not how it works at all. Like it doesn't work like that at all, because it just continues and continues and continues. It's about that person. It's about that bully. It's about what's missing from their life. And the reality is, the sad part of it, as adults, and I've seen some adult bullying that is like it is so harsh. It is so cruel and it is so harsh. And, you know, like I had to get to a point, like in recovery, we talk about what we want for ourselves, we have to want for other people. Well, if I want peace of mind for myself, then I have to want that for other people, even people that are not kind to me. Because if it's possible for them, then it can be possible for me too. That's a hard place to get to, you know? But what I had to kind of realize was that, you know, it's like I remember Oprah saying years and years and years ago, I quote this a lot, but like she was talking to Maya Angelou, probably one of the wisest people that ever lived on this planet. And Maya Angelou, she was talking about like the tabloids talking about her and Stedman, and Maya just kind of like casually was like, but you're not in that. It has nothing to do with you. And she's like, but they're saying it about me. She goes, yeah, they're saying, but it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't speak of you. It's not about you. It's what they're saying about you. It doesn't even matter if it's true or if it's false. It doesn't really matter. It speaks more of them than it speaks of you. It has nothing to do with you. Well, that lesson, how did I even get talking about this? I don't even remember. What was I talking about? But that lesson has been a lesson in my life, and I think it's because it goes all the way back to my childhood, that I believe like that if I could have just convinced them that there was something likable about me, then maybe they would be nicer to me, you know, or maybe if they saw that I wasn't as bad as they thought I was, or I wasn't as different as they thought I was. I think it's about getting to the point where you just kind of have to accept that, like I said, in early sobriety. I heard that month 1 in early sobriety, that I don't have any control over this male guy's coming back around again. This is weird what's going on. I don't understand. That, like, you don't have any control over what other people say or do, but you only have control over your own reactions to that, you know? There's a peace that comes with that. And I think that's a lot of like what my goal has been this year, is like, where do I direct my energy? Where am I putting my energy? Is it worth it for me to put my energy into this? Is it not worth it to put my energy into that? You know, like, I can remember in my youth, really before I got sober, but I can remember in my youth, I can see myself, like, I mean, I can see myself while I'm saying this, I was drinking and stuff too, but like, somebody makes some smart comment to me. I think, you know, part of it too was that, like, well, somebody would make some smart comment to me, And I'd be like, oh no. Like, no, like, you're not getting away with that. I would say something smart back. Like, I was ready to go. You know, like, I was always primed and set. Why is he doing his flashlight at me? He was, like, flashing this. I thought he was, like, trying to get my attention or something, the male guy. Anyway, I was always kind of primed to go. I think a lot of it was that, you know, when in high school being bullied, it's not just about the bullying. It's like 10 things at once that all went together. But when I was bullied in high school, I think, like, one of the things I learned is if I was back in high school again, I would act differently. I would. And this is an adult sharing my adult perspective. I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'm just telling you that if I were in high school today, I think, not because I think it would have changed what happened to me in high school, but because I think it would have changed who I was an adult. I don't think, there was many years of my life that I was very reactionary, and I was full of anger, and I was full of rage, and I think that was because I was silent in high school. In high school, I learned that if you shut your mouth and you don't bring attention to you, that it'll just pass on. Or you become immune to it. You become immune to the bullying and the mean talk and things like that. But it didn't fix it. It continued to happen. And then I think I came out, you know, when I was 18, and I was kind of like, if somebody would mess with me, I'd be like, you're not gonna F with me. Like, come for me, right? Well, I think that carried on for years afterwards, even sober. And I was just like so angry all the time. And then, you know, I didn't go to meetings for 4 years, and anger just, you know, like, quadrupled. And I had no emotional sobriety, and I was just this angry person, and I just became so reactionary to anything that anybody would say, to the point that the person that was the most affected by it was me. I mean, I was so just unhappy all the time, and I was so reactionary, and I had all these points to prove, and, you know, blah, 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 whatever. I even go back and I look at, like, early videos of mine, and I can see it. I can see it in those earlier videos, you know, in a way that I don't have that in me today. And, I mean, it was my first couple years on YouTube. I definitely had a lot of that. Here she's coming down to get her mail now. This is cracking me up. It's just been a lot of work. I think it's also, like, you know, Atticus Finch saying you don't truly know a person until you, like, walk in their shoes on their front porch. I believe that, you know. I think part of it for me is that, like, I don't really understand that behavior, that absolute, like, do I have the ability to make shady comments and be mean to somebody? 100%. Yes, I've been that person. I think if it affected a person enough, or they came to me and they said, stop doing this or stop saying that, like, that has been said to me in my life before, you know. Like, I had a very dear friend of mine years and years and years ago said, sometimes I don't always need somebody to, like, this was the guy that I dated, and then we became really good lifelong friends. But he said to me one time, like, I was always, like, a solution-oriented person. Like, you should do this, or have you ever thought about that? Whatever. And he said, you know, sometimes I don't always need somebody to give me solutions. Sometimes I just need somebody to listen. That changed everything for me. Like, I really realized that I wasn't really listening a whole lot to people, you know, and that changed everything for me. I think that's the difference. I think that I don't understand, like, somebody's cruelty over and over and over again, or their inability to see somebody as human, and I probably will never understand that, and so I've kind of stopped trying. There's no point. And I don't know, oh, it came on. I don't know where the misery and the anger stems from when I see that, not just towards me, but towards other people. And I think, like, I think it's easy, like, you see this all the time, people will be like, oh, well, these people are just really angry. I'm not talking about somebody that makes a chide comment about something or whatever, you know, or says something jokingly. I'm talking about consistently somebody that is cruel in life. I'm not just talking about online, I'm talking about in personal life. I see it more in personal life with people of mine, like friends of mine. They'll be like, you know, I went to my family's Thanksgiving, and somebody will say, my sister was so mean to me. And I'll be like, well, what did she say? It's just like, she just, like, everything I say, she just, like, corrects me, and she's just so mean. And I'm like, I see it a lot in my personal life, right? And I think, like, that's where boundary setting and stuff comes. One of my boundaries that I have learned in my life, and this is where, like, I was talking about, now it all came back to me, having control in our lives. But this is where like you do learn that you can take some control back in your life. And setting a boundary is, one of my boundaries is I don't have to participate. You know, my sponsor always says, let him twirl. She always says, let him twirl. You know, if I call her up and I say, well, you know, like this person said this, or let him twirl. She's like, it has nothing to do with you. Let him twirl. You know, it was interesting because I was watching Sister Wives last night to do my commentary on it. At the very end of it, Cody's making his apology rounds to all of his exes. And he's apologizing to Christine for saying that he never loved her. And it's interesting, she says to production, she goes, it really has nothing to do with me. It's really all about Cody. And I was like, she's so right with that. Like, it has nothing to do with her. Like, him saying he never loved his wives has absolutely nothing to do with the wives. It really has everything. It affected them. It absolutely affected them. And their feelings of self-worth and their, you know, their feelings of being lovable and whatever. But it really was nothing about them. It was about Cody. I was like, you want to talk about growth? That shows growth. So the boundary that I'm able to set for myself today is, when do I engage and when do I not engage? You know, when do I react or when do I respond, or do I respond? I have a choice over all of that today. I don't have to respond. I don't have to react. I don't have to do any of that kind of stuff, you know? And there's a peace that comes with that. So anyway, last night I was laying in bed and I was thinking about, like, I don't even know how I got started on all that. I don't know where I got started on all that, but you know, it's interesting because, like, through the years, you know, we talk about, like, how the foundation years of a kid growing up, like, how important they are, how vital they are to who that person becomes. I know it's really dark out here. I'm going to switch over to the other seat in a second. I'm going to go inside and see where my videos are doing. And I have no idea long, because I stopped it because she was saying names in the neighborhood. I have no idea where I'm at on this video. But, you know, it's interesting when you talk about, like, foundation years and, like, you know, education. You know, people that are educators will teach you, like, the foundation years of a child's life are so important. What for? Because it's who they develop into it as an adult. Well, when you look at my foundation years, and I grew up in a home of an alcoholic, I grew up in a home of chaos, I grew up in a home where I went back and forth between two homes. And school was not my safe space, because when I was at school, people were constantly making fun of. I never knew where it was going to come from. I didn't know if it was going to be 3 days and it wasn't going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to come every day. I didn't know where or when it was going to come from next. I didn't know if teachers were going to support me, or if teachers were going to help me, or if teachers were going to laugh with me. So what that taught me was that in the world, you never know where the next thing is going to come from. And it's interesting, through the years, like, people will say to me, like, why haven't you gotten over the bullying yet? Why haven't you gotten over living in chaos yet? Why haven't you gotten over being reactionary or whatever? You know, and it's like, that took like 8 years for me to form into who I am as a person, and it's taken 40 years for me to unravel that. Like, I'm still working on that, right? And I think that's where it's so important that in raising children and teaching children and in teaching other people out there, like, and how we treat one another, like, really think about that. Because, like, you know, it's like when people say, just get over it, get over the bullying. I can't. I wish I could, you know, I wish I could. It's like, I grew up in that being done to me on such a regular basis that I don't, like, I see the world from that point of view now. I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't, you know? I wish that I saw the world from the fact that your peers love you, they always will, they'll encourage you, and they'll support you, and hey, we're all friends in this. I wish that's how I saw it. I don't know that was anybody's experience growing up. I think some of ours were worse than others. I think some of ours were better than others. You know, I definitely didn't deal with competitiveness like some people did growing up with athletics and sports, or being the top in the class. I didn't deal with that. I'm sure that comes along with its own, you know, bag of problems, where it's like everything is a competition in life, or you are driven to be a perfectionist. I definitely don't have that. But I don't have siblings, so I didn't grow up that with siblings, but I definitely grew up, you know, feeling like it was this constant, like, you know, like when you see a cat with its back arch, like what, that's how I grew up, like, at school. I was terrified. And I really worked really hard. Like, when I make these goals of, like, where am I giving my energy, that's a very deliberate goal that goes all the way back to that. Like, I have given my energy for 53 years of my life to things that didn't deserve it. Me living in the present moment is because it's really hard for me to live in the present moment because I'm constantly thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And yeah, when I was 7 years old, it was like, who's going to call me a name in class, or who's going to throw something at my head while I'm walking down the hall? At 53, it's, what bill's going to come that I don't expect? It's the same thought pattern. It's just different thoughts. And so it's having had to work through that through all the years. And it hasn't been fun work. You know, so today I'm just like, you know, like I hear people say these things online, like, you know, poking the bear, and when if somebody goes low, and what, I'm like, I don't really have it in me anymore. I just really don't. Like, my time is way too valuable on this earth. It really is. Like, and so is yours. My time is way too valuable on this earth to just hand it over to somebody else. I was like Tanya and I were talking about something the other day. We were talking about this friend of ours from back in the day that we hadn't heard from in a while, right? And I said something about, Tanya and I were talking about, like, people's ability to hurt our feelings. And I said, you know, it's really kind of easy for me to speak about right now. I said, because I don't really have that many people in my life. And she kind of laughed, and she's like, neither do I. I go, but that's a safe space that I've created. I mean, I have, like, Alex and Caroline. I have my in-laws, my dad and my stepmom. That's my family. I have my best friend, Tanya. I have Nikki and Mel, Melissa and Jason. I have, like, you know, friends of Alex's, like, we're going to tonight. I'm not super close with them. I have a couple of recovery people, my sponsor, that I, you know, talk to on a daily basis. But other than that, my group is small. It's safe. When my group was larger and I allowed just anybody to come in, I got my feelings hurt all the time because, I don't know, today, like, the people that I have in my life, they don't hurt me. I don't allow people into my circle that hurt me, you know? And if people think it's okay to treat me that way, then I don't really, like, I remember my mom said to me years ago, I don't value the opinion of somebody that doesn't value me to begin with. And I remember her saying that years and years and years ago to me. Or actually, it was we had both watched this interview with Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife, on the Roseanne show. And she said, my mom would repeat it over and over and over again, though. Somebody asked Betty Shabazz, they said, how did it happen? They said, what do you do when you walk down the street and somebody calls you an oppressive name? And she says, I hold my head. Oh, no, it was Betty Shabazz that said this, but this is how it started the conversation with my mom. Roseanne asked Betty Shabazz, what do you do when you walk down the street and somebody calls you an oppressive name? And she said, I hold my head up high because I refuse to be a victim of their oppression. A victim of their oppression, which I thought was so brilliant. And I remember talking to my mom about it. My mom said, I don't value the opinion of those people that don't value me to begin with. And I said, what do you mean by that? Because if I don't value somebody, why am I going to value what they think about me? They already don't like me. So anything that comes out of their mouth is going to be, why would I value them? I don't respect them. I don't value them. Therefore, I'm not going to value what they have. I'm not going to take in what they say about me. And my mom would say, you know, sometimes we seek out what the people that like us the least, what they think about us. She's like, we should really be asking the people that like us the most what they think about. What do you like about me? What do you want me to work on? What could I improve that would make me more likable? She said, but in life we sense to seek out people that don't like us. She goes, they're going to give us a laundry list of things that make us a piece of shit. She goes, why would we do that? She goes, I don't value the opinion of those people that I don't value to begin with. They don't value me, I don't value them. Why should I listen to what they have to say? And I think it's poignant, you know? Okay, let me go inside. This is getting so dark. I need to switch. I'm going to go to I think I'm going to switch to the battery too. And I'm going to go see when my videos are up and what time it is, because I can't go too long because I still have to get ready. So I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. So I went inside. My drama video, this is all crooked. Is it the table or is it the, no, it's not the leg. So I went inside, my drama video is all up, well, it's uploaded, but I still have to post it when I get done. It was like 5:50 something when I went inside. And I'm like, so confused. I'm like, I was like, okay. So I was like looking to see, I think I had filmed for about 38 minutes or something. I was trying to like time it out. But then I was like, where did I start this whole conversation anyway? But I started talking about control as an addict and that like how important like control is, even though we literally have no sense of control and things like that. But anyway, yeah, I think like any aspect of control in my life has always been really, really difficult. I think like one of the reasons why this year has been so valuable to me is this has become like one of my favorite shirts. Can I just tell you that this shirt is one of my shirts? It's like, just like this baseball shirt that I have from like years ago that I used to wear all the time, but it fits me now. I found it down, and I think I found it either in one of the bins upstairs or down in the basement, and so I've been wearing it. But yesterday, I was going to show you, yesterday to brunch, I wore it with like the zip up Adidas jacket that I got from like this thrift store years ago. Oh, by the way, I also have on, remember this fleece lined, I think I got it from Amazon, this hoodie that I got last year, so warm. So I've been wearing this to take the dogs out sometimes, so I was like, okay, sit out here, I'll put this on. But anyway, I think like, if you're thinking of like a goal to work on for the year, for next year, like, feel free to steal it from me. It's not an original idea. I mean, I've heard so many people talk about it through the years of like, how do I direct my energy? Where am I giving my energy? I think the difference for me this year was making it a goal has been super, super powerful. Because when something comes up, and like it can be something that somebody says about me, or it could be something like, I don't know, my neighbors were talking the other day about like, when's the snow going to be shoveled? They put this email out, and the email is like, is that worth my energy? Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be like, okay, well, I didn't film as many videos as I want. Is that worth my energy to get all upset about? Like, what is worth my energy? It can be anything from, you know, like, I remember this, like, my mom was somebody that, like, did not direct her energy well. Like, she just didn't. Like, I remember one time, Caroline and I talk about this all the time. Like, I think I've shared this story on here before. My mom always made the deviled eggs, okay, for every holiday. And we were going, it was like when my aunt and uncle lived over here. And so we were going into something, and my mom like slipped, not like slipped and fell on the ice, just kind of like unsteady. But like she had not tinfoil over, so she had this like deviled egg tray. Do I still have it, or did I give it to Caroline? I think Caroline wanted it and I gave it to her. But it's like one of those trays. It's like, it's this ugly color green. But anyway, where you like, each one has like, you know what I'm talking about, deviled egg tray. So anyway, she just had like lightly over like cellophane paper just like sitting on top of it. And so she like slipped a little bit. Like when she did, like the eggs just went like, like onto the ground. My mom let that like completely ruin her day. Like, I mean, she was done. Like, I'll never forget, she walked inside. I mean, it was like, she talked about those deviled eggs for like the next hour. And like, that would be a good example of like, what are you giving your energy to? Like, are the deviled eggs really worth your energy? I mean, are you really going to let it ruin an entire day for you? Like, I know you're upset. You spent the time on the deviled eggs. It was worth it. But like, are you willing to ruin like a holiday over it with your family? Or just let's get over it and move on? Like, we can't do anything about it anyway. I think it's collectively all the things like, this has been a year where I've like reminded myself collectively all the things I've heard through the years. Like my one sponsor would always say to me, I get real upset about things that had happened in my past or 10 minutes ago. And he'd say, a second after the milk is spilled, you can't cry about it. What's the point? He's like, it's done. You can't change those things. You can learn from them, but you can't change them. And so every time something comes up for me, I'm trying to give it, okay, like, Nikki and I were texting about the Advent calendar books, okay? And I was like, I'm not going to be able to read them until I get back from the movie tonight. But I want to watch this show that I started to get last night. So I was like, are they really long? And Nikki was like, they are super long today. She was like, this one book is 35 pages. Another one is 21 pages. And I was like, immediately in my head, I was like, I started getting like, I mean, Nikki and I were talking last night about like, this is a lot. Like reading like 12 to 14 books is a lot, but we've had so much fun doing it this year. It's been so much fun. It's been really kind of like, well, last night, I don't know if I share this or not, but I showed the picture, changed to Christmas bedding. It's like every day I do a little something more Christmassy. The other day I listened to Christmas music. That really got me into the Christmas mood more than anything I've done. Maybe tonight I'll get anything. It's not that I'm not like negative towards Christmas this year. I don't know. It's just like, I don't really know what it is. We went to Costco the other day. Alex and I went, and I was prepared to buy those things, even though it's like 2 weeks out, and they're like $60 each. I was going to get 2 of them. They're out of them. Those big Costco things that I buy every year with the sticks, they're gone. They're out of them. We already got a wreath for our door. I still haven't changed the pillows yet. I don't know, like, I'm more Christmassy at like 2 o'clock in the morning having a cup of coffee with a candle lit than I don't know, like, Haven't put the Christmas tree up this year. In all honesty, the dogs run around so much at night and they like are so curious about everything. I don't really know where to put the Christmas tree. The only way that it would work is to put it on top of a table. And there's not really a good table to put it on. To be honest with you, I'm kind of thinking, and like, I know when I say this, people will be like, oh, I'm like, no, I love me Christmas this year. I'm excited about Christmas. But I'm almost thinking about like not putting up a Christmas tree this year while they're still like puppies and they're running around. Because I almost feel like it's going to be more trouble than it's worth, to be completely honest about it. I might go downstairs and like, but I was thinking like, even if I bring out like the felt deer and stuff like that and put it, I mean like, they sniff, they're puppies. They're into everything, you know? Like, it is what it is. So, I don't know. The jury's still out on the Christmas tree, but we're like a week out from Christmas at this point. So it's like, I'm kind of like, do I put up a Christmas tree? The Christmas bedding felt very Christmassy. I could put the Christmas tree up in the bedroom because they don't really get in. I mean, they're up there with us, so they wouldn't really get in. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what that's about. Is that the Lexapro? Is it the walk? Is it just my, like, I just feel so kind of like, I wouldn't say that I feel like blasé about stuff. I just feel very like not worked up about anything. Like years before I would have been so worked up like, oh my God, I have to put up a Christmas tree. If I don't put up a Christmas tree, then that means I don't love Christmas. I don't feel like that. I love Christmas. I just don't know that I want to put up a Christmas tree this year. I don't know that it's worth it to me, you know? Fufu and Jesse are going to be in town and we're going to be like gone a lot from here. And I don't know that me putting up a Christmas tree and lighting throughout the day is going to make a huge difference to me, and I'm going to be worried the whole time, like, are the dogs getting into that? Are they okay? Is the Christmas... You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if it's worth it. But anyway, I think, like, one of the things that's really made this year different with that specific goal, because, like, last year when I made the goal of, like, living in the present moment, which is a carryover goal to this year, when I made that goal, like, throughout the year, like, if I found myself... I'm not talking about on a vlog telling stories from my past. I'm talking about getting fixated on things. Like, well, I wish I had done this. If I had done this differently, whatever. Getting fixated on things from the past. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about becoming worried about things in the future. Like, oh my God, this and this and this and this. And like, what if I can't do this? And, you know, whatever. Like, I remember with like, the door, like the patio door, we ordered it, and then when they couldn't, like, it didn't size out right, and we had to get all the contractor come out here, all this kind of stuff. I was like, Alex, if this goes into January, like, it's going to get cold, which it was warmer with the boards up. It just didn't look nice. And Alex is so calm with stuff like that. I mean, he's so good for my energy. And he was like, he goes, babe, it'll be fine. It'll all work out the way it's supposed to. Caroline's very much like that, too. I have to kind of work towards that, you know? And so... And he'd be like, we'd be watching a movie, and I'd just like look at that window, and I'd be like, we're not going to get it. It's going to be like January, February. He'd be like, it's going to be fine, honey. It's going to work out. Don't worry about it. In that moment, I'd be like, enjoy the movie. Like, why are you worried about, you can't do anything about the door in this moment anyway. So it will be a reminder for me, right? Like, it's not like it just comes to me naturally. Like, I have to work through it. I can't tell you, I mean, I wouldn't say there's 30 times a day anymore now, but I'd say there's 3 or 4 where I ask myself, like, is this worth my energy? Like, is this worth me getting all worked up about it? Like, ask yourself that. When you start getting really worked up about stuff, and what you'll realize is that you get worked up about the littlest stuff. I allowed myself to get worked up about the littlest stuff. I mean, all the time, you know? Like, I mean, like, the Christmas tree is a good example. A year ago, or 2 years ago, I would have been, well, probably not last year, but, like, 2-3 years ago, I'd been like, well, I've got to put up a Christmas tree. If I don't put up a Christmas tree, that means I don't like Christmas. But what am I going to do? Where's it going to go? And it's not worth my energy. It's just not worth it. And I cause myself so much more stress. And I don't know if that's the Lexapro. I don't know if that's the walking. I don't know if that's the therapy that I've done this year. I don't know if it's a combination of all those things. I don't know if it's the step work that I've done. I just feel so much calmer. It just is like... Stuff just doesn't get to me the way that it did before. You know, it just doesn't. It's like, I don't know. And I think, like, it's interesting, you know, like, the way that I started this conversation is talking about, like, the addicts and alcoholics need to control things, you know? That it, and I still feel that way, but it's like, once you realize, like with the door situation, okay? Like, no matter how much I wanted to control that situation, let's just say, I'm just using that as an example. The door was going to be ready to go in when it was going to be ready to go in. Whether that was going to be in November or whether that was going to be in January. Unless I was like, well, we're going to change companies and blah, blah, blah. And I think like there was a period in my life when I was like that. And then I would get more angry. And what I would find out is it didn't really speed up the process or change anything to begin with. So I was exerting all this negative to do for what? To control something I really didn't have any control over anyway. So now in my life, and like I said, it's a process I have to work through. And I have to remind myself, you don't really have any control over this situation. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit here and stress yourself out about it? You're going to sit here and be like, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Well, I can spin in my head of all the different things I'm going to do that I don't ever do. And I can spin in my head about all the things I could do, that I might do, that I probably won't do. Because it's not worth it. And that stresses me out. So what I do in situations where I realize I have very little control is I look at it, and the awareness, which I've always said is a huge thing, of realizing I have very little control of the situation anyway, allows me to back up and go, well, if you don't really have any control, then what business do you have even trying to be in it whatsoever? It ain't about me. Let go of it. The door will come when the door comes. And that is a much easier way to live. And it's actually not that deep of a lesson or a thought for me to have taken all these years to learn, you know? And I don't know, maybe if I hadn't grown up in chaos, and maybe if I wasn't constantly like a jumpy cat that was worried about, that I would be better at that. But you know what? It's taken me a long time. But I'm glad that I learned it, you know? I think the other thing I used to do too, is I've talked about this on here recently, is I used to catastrophize the hell out of everything. You know, it's like, back in the day, it was like I either saw stuff like on a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 being whatever and 10 being just off the charts horrible. Everything that happened was an 8, 9, or 10. I just catastrophized everything. Now that was probably the first thing I worked on several years ago. I just was like, there's no need to catastrophize this stuff, you know? But like, so I don't know, like one of the things, like I said, what I do in bed, and I've shared this before, is that like I go through and like, I slow my mind down. I'll literally sometimes say stop, like in my head, because I'll be like, well, if you don't do this tomorrow, I'll be like, stop. Tomorrow's going to happen the way that tomorrow's going to happen. You'll get the videos done you're supposed to get done. You'll get to the movie on time. Everything will be fine. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it a lot more because you're not so stressed out about it. And then I'm like, okay, what were the best moments of the day? You know, and the best moments are like late, sitting, and they're boring ass moments, y'all. They are boring moments. Me and Alex laying in bed laughing about something, you know, with the dogs playing in between us, or the dog sleeping next to me last night, you know, while I'm watching a TV show, or I don't know, just something so random. It's just always these most random small moments, you know? But then, you know, I think like, I've said this for years, I see all the memes about it where it's like, it's really the simple moments that make life different. But when you look at it, if you went through your day, it really is those days. I mean, like, how many big bang moments do you really have throughout your day? Do this tonight. Start doing it. Ask yourself, narrow it down to 3 to 5 of the best moments you had throughout the day. It'll be a laugh you shared with a friend. It'll be the first sip of coffee of a new kind of coffee that you had that was like, oh, this coffee is really good. It'll be like a song you heard that came on, something you saw on a TikTok that made you laugh. It'll be a small moment. It'll be 5 small moments throughout your day, trust me. We really don't, I mean, like, other than taking trips and maybe every once in a while buying yourself something nice or going on a date, like, most of us throughout our days do not have big bang moments, like I said, right? So then it really is about the small moments. And when you narrow it down and you look, well, what was the best moment of my day? The best moment of the day was sitting in a chair watching a TV show with your dogs. Then life really is about the small moments. And I'm somebody that needs reminding of that. So at night, when I'm laying there, it's a good way for me to slow down my mind. And then those are the last things I think about throughout the day, you know? I can't vlog for much longer, so I'm going to start closing this up. But anyway, so last night, what I watch on TV, what was last night? Sunday? Well, Alex kept on asking me if I wanted to watch Beverly Hills, but I wanted to get my advent calendar books done first. So, I said we'll watch Beverly Hills tomorrow night, but we're going to the movie tonight. This will be fun. I'm excited about this. Something totally different to do. We've got all kinds of different stuff we're doing this month. We've got all kinds of stuff we've been planning. I'm real excited about it. Christmassy stuff. So, anyway, Jesse and Fufu are like wanting to do a bunch of Christmas stuff while they're here. And go to the Colts game. I'm not going to the Colts game. Alex isn't going either. I said, I thought you were going to go to the Colts game with all of them. He goes, the tickets are like $250. He goes, and I don't care about the Colts. Can we say that out loud in Indianapolis? Anyway, so he's not going to the Colts game either. We'll probably just go over to his mom's house afterwards or something. His mom was like, he was talking to his mom when he came on the phone today. So his mom and I text each other a lot and whatever. And like literally, she was at a wedding this weekend and she posted some picture on her Instagram story or whatever. And I said, she looks so pretty. And I sent her a message and I was like, you look so pretty on this. She had the nerve to tell Alex and I, she was like, he was on speakerphone. And so when he came in, he was like, I was like, who are you talking to? He's like, my mom, and whatever. I said, hola, bien, and whatever. And then she was like, I haven't heard from you. And I said, I just messaged you yesterday. And she started laughing. And I was like, I told you how pretty you look. She's like, oh, that's right. I said, you haven't messaged me. She started laughing so hard. She said, Tanya always said, she's like, Alex's mom is like the busiest person that I know. She's always like out doing, she's like, I wish I had her social life. She has such a fun social life. She does. If she's not traveling, people are always inviting her to weddings and dances. My mother-in-law has the best life ever. She has so much fun. I love her so much. I do. I was telling her about, well, this was Thanksgiving. Caroline and I were telling, my mom would have loved her. They would have loved each other. They would have gotten along so well together. She's so fun. But anyway, it's going to be fun when they're here in town. The next week and a half is going to be fun. So yeah, so last night, the Advent calendar books, got those done. What did I watch before I laid down in my nap? Or did I do it after? I got caught up on Elsbeth last night. I'm bored of it. I can't believe I'm saying that about Elsbeth. I love that show. I'm just kind of bored of it. I haven't caught up on Matlock. The two shows I haven't caught up on yet are Matlock and Below Deck Mediterranean. So then Alex last night, what was he watching? Oh, he was catching up on the Kardashians. He was keeping up with the Kardashians last night. I watched one season of it. It's whatever. I mean, I know a lot of people that watch the Kardashians. Like, Alex is like, I don't agree with half the stuff that they say or do. He's like, but I just like watching the show. Everybody that I know, Tanya, Nikki, everybody watches the Kardashians. I don't know, maybe if I watched it from the beginning. I did watch a couple, I don't know, back in the day. I remember when those girls were so young. Kendall and Kylie, is that their names? I don't even know. I was watching, like I was in the bedroom last night when he was watching it. And I go, is that Chloe? Chloe's hair is like really dark now and whatever. We were watching something the other night. What were we watching? And The Materialist. And I said, that girl looks like Kourtney Kardashian. He's like, she does kind of. Not the main girl. The girl that's her client. I can't remember her name. Sophie or something like that. But anyway, so he was watching that. And I said, we can watch Beverly Hills. He's like, well, I'm into the Kardashians now. And I said, okay. So I think that's when I started watching Elsbeth. Then I laid down and took a nap. Then I got up. And I really, really, really last night wanted to, I already had watched the movie. So I really wanted to finish Down Cemetery Road with Emma Thompson, and I really wanted to finish Malice. I had 2 episodes of each. Well, I was halfway through. Down Cemetery Road's 8 episodes. Malice was 6 episodes. I was halfway through the 7th episode of Down Cemetery Road. That was the one I wanted to finish first. So I watched that one first, and I got Down Cemetery Road. Loved it. I'm going to do a reaction to it probably tomorrow. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. But when I got done with it, it was like 3 o'clock. And I was like, I can still finish Malice. So I watched the last 2 episodes of Malice. It was okay. I mean, I liked it. If I had, like, Tanya compared it to, like, All Her Fault and, like, what was that movie, that show with Claire Danes that I just watched, The Beast in Me? She was like, it's better than those. No, it's not. No, it was good. I don't know. Tanya, like, she loves those thriller. I mean, I like those thrillers too, but she likes where there's always, like, somebody villainous and you don't know if they're really villainous. So, I've told you guys what this is. It's about this guy, and he's, like, infiltrates his family, and you don't know why. I will say this about it, if you've watched it. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, because it is the very end. Maybe I should wait till my reaction. But, like, how it starts, I thought it would end the way it started, and it just kind of, like, they never referenced that part again, and I was so confused. Like, I didn't understand it. I mean, I understood how it ended, but I see all these people online, like, is there going to be a season 2? What, is there going to be a season 2? Does he infiltrate another family? Like, I don't know. Like, it was okay. I mean, I'm glad it was only 6 episodes. The last episode felt real rushed to me. Like, it could have been 7 episodes. I don't know. It was okay. Some of the stuff I didn't really understand. There was like a snake in it. I didn't really understand what the point of the snake was at all. Like, at all. Like, the snake is like a big part of it. Like, of the show. Like, if you watch it, you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to ruin it. But, like, there's this whole snake and, like, taking care of the snake and all this stuff to do with the snake. And then it's like, the snake part is so anticlimactic. What was the snake part? Was that supposed to be symbolic of something? I didn't get it. Then I was talking to Tiny about it when I finished it. Was it earlier today? When was I talking to her? It must have been. Yeah, it was earlier today. Because I said, girl, what was it about this show that you love so much? That's where you can talk to your friends and you have different opinions. I feel like online people think you can't have different opinions about things. Tanya and I don't agree on a lot of stuff, pop culture-wise. And she's like, I go, what was it about that show? She goes, oh, I just thought it was so good. And I go, what about it? I thought it was okay. She goes, I just think that David Duchovny is so good looking. I go, girl, you did not make me watch 6 episodes of this show for David Duchovny. He don't look no different. He does look good. He doesn't look any different than he was, but I loved that show back in the day. She watched it too. What was it called? With Gillian Anderson. Why can't I think? The UFO show. Why can't his office said I want to believe. What's that show called? Why can't I remember that show? Like, this is driving me crazy and I don't want to take my gloves off. Damn it. Oh, my phone's inside anyway. I can't look it up. Can you believe I can't remember that show? X-Files. You know what I started doing in my head? That do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I started singing this song in my head. I watched like several seasons of that. I like that show. I like that show a lot. Why am I thinking of that show Roswell? Not the remake, the original. Do you remember that? Anyway, so I watched those last night. Oh, and then it was early enough because each episode of Malice was only 45 minutes and I was halfway through the 5th episode. So I got done that was like 4:15 or something and I wasn't tired. So I was like, I want to stay up and watch something else. So I literally Google searched shows like Shetland and it came up with all these shows. And I looked through all these shows. I added a lot of them. Y'all know what I did? Well, I joined Acorn and then I upgraded to PBS. I'm now a member of the BritBox, Starz, Acorn, PBS, Australian TV. I don't know, all of them. Because somebody recommended a show to me. I think it's called Hidden or something like that. It's on Acorn and I was like, okay, I gotta get this. But then there was another show that I wanted and it was on like the super extended version of Acorn, so I had to pay $4 extra a month or $4.99 extra a month. Oh my god. So now I got them all, honey. I got all the Australian shows, the Denmark shows, the Danish shows, the Swedish shows, the Australian shows, the British shows. I got them all. So I started watching the show last night. It's only 4 episodes. And they said it was just like Shetland. By the way, thank you, Lisa, for spelling out archipelago. I still can't pronounce it. Lisa did it phonetically in the comment sections. Thank you, Lisa. What's the road? Down the cemetery or down cemetery road or whatever. That one goes up to where like Shetland takes place. But anyway, so this show that I started watching last night, it's really good. The main detective is gay. I didn't even know that when I started it. And he's real good looking. And his like husband, like he's going to a funeral for his dad. This is how it opens. And he's like, don't take your ring off. You're not gonna like, and so it's like his family like shunned him and whatever. But it like takes place in an area that looks very much like Shetland. And then they find this body on the beach. I don't know if it was maybe filmed in the same area or not, but it's only 4 episodes. It's called The Long Call. Have you seen it? It's so good already. I'm only halfway through the first episode, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So it's 4 episodes. So tonight I'm going to watch that. I know, listen, I got to get back to Plath. Before the year is over, I'm finishing Plathville and I'm finishing 1,000 Pound Roomies. I promise you. Okay, now I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get this vlog rendered to get my other videos up. Take a shower, put on some, well, I washed my jeans and stuff, so I'm going to put on a hoodie and get all ready for the movie. Oh, I wish I had some of that fudge to take with me. Well, why would you take stuff with you when you can order all this food and stuff like that? I'm so excited to order food at the movie. What should I get? Have you been to these places? You have? Why are you trying to make me jealous? But I'm going to go tonight, and then I can say I've been to it. Do you know what? My cousin... No, I can tell you this because Caroline said I can tell you anything. So she always plans all these dates for her and her son and his girlfriend and then her steps, all like that, like immediate family. And Caroline loves this. It's called Flicks. She loves this Flicks place. So they have like a family like group chat where she's like, okay, Sunday. And she like buys all the tickets and everything. She's so nice. She's like, okay, Sunday. This was like months ago. Do you know what her stepson said? Fuck Flicks. I said, Caroline, why? And she goes, he's just trying to be. And then he thought it was real funny. But now I was like, but I want to go. My feelings are hurt. No, not really. But I am excited to go. It's going to be so much fun. But like, then I'm like, this is who I am. Like, I'm in my head like, are they going to order food? Because if they don't order food, the other people, then I won't want to order food. Because then I'll feel like, well, I shouldn't get probably a Beyond. I'll be like this, the Grinch. I'll be like eating a Beyond Burger. Oh my God, I haven't had a Beyond Burger in so long. That does sound so good though. All right, so I'm going to get off here now. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Monday and a fantastic beginning to your week. Watch Fargo. I should watch Fargo again. I haven't watched it in so long. If nobody else has told you this today, I love the last line by Frances McDormand when she's talking about all this for money. So sad. I love that last part of her. Anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Stay warm.